Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my dodgy bloody workshop where I'm not a mechanic and you're just watching what I bloody do. Now in this one, as you guys following know, I've got to get this shot cleaned up, check the bloody seals to make sure it's not an ongoing leak. I'm starting to think, I'll talk about that in a minute. Now there's another two things I've got to talk about, and that is we did the riv nut on this wheel chock. You guys in the comments have brought up some very good, what would you call, exceptions for the use of those. And I've got to talk about brain fog, and that is greases. Anybody that got the Biker Bits Lost Mail newsletter, you'll know what I'm talking about. Right, let's start with the riv nut. Right, so as we know, on this wheel chock, to make that move forward, we've got these down here. The good old riv nut, which means that you don't have to weld a nut on there and like have a welder and all that kind of bullshit. You just bloody do those. Now the problem here that can happen is that if you're using something like this, and I was saying to the guys in the last one, I couldn't get this in, but using all these extensions, I can jump. I actually got to make sure I'm going the right way. I can chuck and whoop, take it out like that. But then redoing it back up and doing that quite often, if I overdo that, the riv nut on the back could spin, lose its grip, and then once it spins, it's bloody pretty much useless. When that happens, if it happens, I'll then just weld a nut on the back. Now the other thing that was said, so I don't have to have the tool, I put my short lookers on. Let's see what the hell I'm doing. Oh, because the bloody bike's pushing on it now. Oh shit, is that gonna get in? Yeah, go on, strip it, Mark. Yeah, you're gonna strip it, you dickhead. Right, Mark's dodgy friggin' bloody, alright. So let's do, so instead of having to use this or a spanner, people said about getting nuts that are actual hand nuts, or what I can do is I can just weld something onto there, so then I can just use that. But obviously I need to take the pressure under. Just quickly, sorry guys, now I'm bloody dick-arsing around. Get out of there. Bring you guys around so you can see a bit. Off so I can bring that. Oh, bugger it. Righto. Oh, why, Mark? So how would have I done that? Why is that? I'll have to go further up. There you go. That's all it is, which is what would be the normal case when I was doing this. What did I do? Right. And that's where I've got to be careful not to go too hard on that and make that strip. Right. Now I can go back down. You know what, I'm going to swap that. It's a noisy thing. I don't need to be using it. I've got a drill. Don't need an impact. And there we can come back down. Oh, there we go. That's much better. Right, so I've talked about that. Now, the other thing is brain fog and the grease debacle. Oh, actually guys, there is one other thing that I will show you. So yeah, I will, when I weld that thing or create whatever that hand bloody thing is, I'll obviously video that. But remember I was struggling with the back tyre taking it on and off, and I was saying, I don't know what's going on. This is weird. Like, I don't normally have this much problem. Someone in the comments said about remove the chain guard, which I didn't. And the reason why I didn't is because I've got a crack here and I've got washer there and a washer on the other side, and it squashes it in there, and I've had it where it's come apart again, and then it's been solid. So I kind of, like, in my head I was going, don't take it off, that's there, it works, whatever. But anyway, when I had to put those shims on the back of the brake pads, I went, right, I'm going to do that, I'm going to take that off. Holy shit, I took that off, which takes all of friggin' 10 seconds, and taking the wheel in and out was an absolute breeze, like it normally is. I should be able to go in on that, and hopefully you should be able to see, yeah, there you go, there's those shims are now on those pads. Bloody ripper. So yeah, I don't know, I mean, that's most probably plays into the whole brain fog thing. I don't know whether it's a matter of getting older, or I know a lot of it is because I'm doing the video and I'm concentrating on angles and all that kind of bullshit. Anyway, let's go over the grease. Right, so grease, and we were talking about all the different types. So you've got a silicone grease, which is good for when you've got like rubber parts or rubber boots and bits and pieces. Then there was the issue with, I had the anti-seize, the copper anti-seize, but that's no good for when it's aluminium. If aluminium or aluminum is involved, you don't use copper. You've got to use a grease that is okay with aluminium, because it does some chemical bloody bullshit thing and does the opposite of what it's supposed to do. Anyway, I was in here because I'm pretty I believe I'm pretty organised. But after all that talk about the grease and all that kind of stuff, because I had this stuff, but then I went, oh shit, I've got Penrite grease up here, which is high temp wheel bearing, and it gives you a whole heap of things that it can be used for as well. And then obviously I've got that stuff there, which is the copper stuff. I've had that for years. But then I went, holy shit, brake and caliper grease. Hello, silicone. This is the stuff I should have used. Now, I don't think I actually bought this stuff. I think this was stuff that the boys got when they did Nay's brakes on her Ford Escape, and I ended up with this. But that's so what I'm saying is that I've got shit there, shit here, shit down there, and I just go, oh well, this is the grease that I've been using for literally a decade, I reckon. Like Max has got that through everything. Wheel bearings, the bloody suspension, everything. He's got that all through it. And I think what I did with this Penrite, I don't know what I used that for, but if you look, I've got the whole Penrite bloody started going through the whole Penrite. I get a little, I don't know where, I'm not ACDC. I'm not OCDC, whatever that thing is. I'm not that. I'm just an organised person, and I do like, well, just having Penrite, like matching, I don't know, it's just, it makes my brain happy, if you know what I mean. So it's kind of like, yeah, I'll get Penrite coolant, Penrite oil for the cars, the motorbikes, the brake fluid, bloody, yeah, the whole kit and caboodle. So yeah, that's obviously why I got that. But anyway, so I think I need to do a little bit more organising, especially to do that, and kind of like, hey, well shit, here's the grease. This is where all my greases, whatever the application they're for, that's where my grease is. So then when I go, shit, I need grease for the bloody brakes, and I go, oh shit, hang on, I've got this grease and that grease. Oh, brake caliper grease. That's the shit I should be using. Right, enough about that. Let's clean this bloody shock up. Righto, so first job is just to clean up all the crap. Now I was thinking about what happened. So on the wheel there was just one big, I've cleaned it up, but there was just one splodge out here. And I do remember when I was on that Mount Disappointment ride, I was riding along and there was a gutter, and normally you blip and you flip your front wheel over the bloody little gully, and then your back wheel just hits through it. On this particular occasion I didn't, and I just tried to slam on the brakes as hard as I could and then just brace and went through it. And I remember hitting it, and in my head I went, oh geez, hopefully I don't get a pinch flat. But of course I run D606s and they're just bloody brilliant, and that's not going to happen. So I'm hoping that it's not that there's a bit of shit gotten down there, it was just the pressure just made that one spurt of coming out. So this is my tyre loop. Basically that's just, it's actually Jay Leno's car wash bit in there, and the rest is water. I use it for lubing when I'm doing the tyres on and off the rims. But I've figured out it's actually good for just doing a quick clean on stuff. Give it a bit of a spray around, you know, without taking it into the backyard and bloody getting the hose and doing a, you know, big bloody wash thing. So I used to run like a waterless wash, which is basically what this is, like a waterless wash. Obviously there's water in it, and the waterless wash was great. It was bloody fantastic. I love it. But I just haven't been out to buy it anymore. So I just started using that, and I went, you know what, that works all right for doing shit on this, you know. And I'm not talking about fucking your good car or anything like that, or your KTM, or, you know, one of those Power Ranger bloody pussy bikes. So on the old DR, it don't care. It'll take anything. Let's give that a bit of a clean up. I'll do a bit of fast motion so you don't get bored. Righto, done. Now, actually I'll just clean up on the bottom here. Wheel. Beauty. Let's start bloody undoing some of this shit and see what's inside. That doesn't come all the way out. Right you are. Alright, so just looking at it at the moment, it doesn't look like there's anything weeping out. Like there's nothing fresh where it's like been constantly coming out, so that's a good start. And obviously it's not, I'm cleaning here, it's going to come out of up here, but I can't see any dribbles. So this might actually be a really quick job. Just cleaning around that. I reckon we've just had a blowout. And even if there was a bit of shit in there, that blowout might have blown any of the crap that was in there. So I'm not even going to have to run the what do you call it? The Duvalaki. Hang on. The Seal Mate. I won't have to run that because I'm not sticking anything in there if I don't have to, because you've always got the liability of pushing something in there. So let me just show you inside. Oh, balancing you here, guys. So there you go. So that's, oh shoot, you're on the tripod but I'm moving you. Hopefully you can see that. So there's actually nothing, but we're going to test it. We'll test to make sure nothing's coming out. We'll be able to tell by if we see stuff as we pump it, whether stuff comes up through here. Right, so I'll just squirt a bit of this. This is just safety water, so it's not like any chemicals that may affect the bloody seals or anything like that. And I might just get a soft bristle. Nice bloody soft bristle, and give it a bit of a zhuzh. Well, that's coming up like brand new. Chuck a bit more in there. That'll do. Right. Take you guys off the tripod. I'll actually hold it properly now. So as you can see in there, all nice and clean. We have no oil. So now what we've got to do is we'll drop this. Let's just do it. Right, so just take the pressure off the old safety bar. Yep. Then down periscope. Boom. So now, oh, I've got to take that out as well. Using the non-noisy drill. Oh, geez, I've got the bloody wrong one. Right, yeah, that one was going to be way too big. Said no woman ever. Right. So now I should be able to do that. Opa! So, yeah. That should be enough. Mucking around. Oh. Just to make sure that does not come out. Let's have a look and see what that's done. Right, so if we lift that up, and hey presto, I am a very lucky man. And as you can see, there's nothing, and you can you see that line there? If I rub that out, oops, sorry, I'm trying to do this. So hopefully you can see that line. I just rub that like that, and you can see that's gone. So that's how far they can press to, and there's nothing. So that's bloody, oh Max, you're just a good bloke, aren't you? Hey, good old Max. Right, so I'll just whip that back together and that's done. So today is Monday, and on the weekend we've got the Teddington Hut ride, 11 riders. We had one drop out, but we had, Mark C. Mark C's on it. He's always good fun to have around. So the next video could be me organising, or let me know in the comments please, because I've done this quite a lot, is getting Max, so for 2 days riding, 340 kilometres, we're camping at Teddington Hut. There's a toilet there, that's it. No water, there's a fireplace, and obviously there's a hut. But you know, water, food, you need to be self-sufficient. So do you want me to do a video of all the stuff that I'm taking and setting, packing and all that kind of stuff? I've done that many a times, but I know you guys like that type of shit. So working out all the crap that I'll be taking, especially it's warm weather at the moment, so I won't have to have my big sleeping bag and all the extra blankets and all that. So it'll actually be a lot more streamlined on this one. So anyway, in the comments, let me know. Yes, Mark, show us you packing the bike for the ride. Cool. Righto, guys. Remember, keep on riding, and if you ain't riding, keep on keeping on.